There are natural wonders on Earth so beautiful that they seem almost unreal. From extraordinary mountain ranges to colorful lakes, many landscapes on Earth look as if they belong to another world. There are caves that glow like a starry sky, beaches that shine with a brilliant blue light at night, and mysterious blue flames that appear in the middle of volcanic regions. Some places make you feel as though the sky and the earth have become one. Every landscape shows that nature still holds countless wonders far beyond our imagination. Join us as we explore the wonders of our planet that are so breathtaking, it is hard to believe they truly exist. Kelimutu volcano in Indonesia challenges every natural rule with 3 giant acidic lakes located close together, yet each lake displays a completely different color. This unique feature comes from the fact that all 3 crater lakes change color randomly and independently without following any fixed time pattern. The mystery is driven by a hydrothermal system beneath the volcano, which constantly pushes harmful gases into the lake water and creates color-changing chemical reactions. The complex interaction between concentrated sulfur, iron, and manganese compounds turns these lakes into natural chemical basins with pH levels close to 0. This extremely acidic environment destroys almost all life around it, leaving barren grey cliffs surrounding 3 hauntingly contrasting colors. Known by a name honoring a historic pathfinder, Abraham Lake in Canada is a vast, artificial reservoir with a constantly changing beauty that feels both magnificent and dangerous. Formed after the North Saskatchewan River was dammed for hydropower in 1972, this reservoir accidentally swallowed a dense forest ecosystem beneath its depths. In summer, fine rock flour from upstream glaciers flows into the lake and turns its broad surface a brilliant turquoise, contrasting with limestone cliffs. When winter arrives and temperatures drop far below -22 degrees Fahrenheit, decomposing submerged plants release large amounts of methane gas toward the ice surface. These gas streams are instantly trapped by the extreme cold beneath the clear ice, freezing into millions of surreal white bubble columns stacked on top of one another. The constant movement of hydropower water beneath the cracked ice also intensifies the visual experience, with deep, echoing fracture sounds rising from below. Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone National Park, United States, is a giant hot spring with brilliant colors resembling a natural artwork. The pool's deep blue water forms a powerful, quiet centerpiece within the surrounding geological structure and its colorful mineral bands. Concentric rings of color, spreading from the pool's center, are formed by heat-loving bacteria that grow across different temperature zones. The spring's diameter, of about 361 feet, creates an overwhelming scale that reveals Earth's powerful activity from deep below. The limestone-like mineral structures surrounding the pool result from thousands of years of mineral deposition, forming a solid geological surface. The combination of emerald green and vivid red-orange bands makes this place a perfect model for landscapes from another planet. White steam rising from the pool's surface creates a mysterious atmosphere that covers this enormous geothermal feature with haunting beauty. Bacteria surviving here have created a living biological paint layer, turning each edge of the pool into striking, colorful borders. Pamukkale in Turkey has been recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO for its surreal landscape of brilliant white limestone terraces. Mineral-rich water containing calcium continuously deposits new limestone layers each year, preserving the area's bright appearance, like clouds resting on Earth. Hundreds of small mineral pools displaying vivid turquoise colors, sit within limestone basins, creating an extraordinary and dreamlike landscape throughout the region. The limestone surface possesses a smooth and slightly porous texture, producing a remarkably distinctive sensation beneath the feet of visiting travelers. The travertine terraces continuously form new shapes through the persistent mineralization process created by hot water flowing across white stone channels. The contrast between pristine white terraces and brilliant blue pools has made this destination a model for landscapes resembling distant worlds. Calcium deposits accumulated over centuries have shaped an intricate network of gracefully curved limestone basins across the untouched natural environment. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park in Brazil is a geological wonder unlike anywhere else in the world, with thousands of smooth white sand dunes filled by natural freshwater lagoons. This wonder covers 598 square miles near the Atlantic coast and receives about 47 to 60 inches of rain each year, so it is not dry like a true desert. This huge amount of rainwater does not sink deeply into the sand because a hard, waterproof clay layer lies beneath it, holding water in the low valleys. This unusual geological process creates thousands of clear, emerald freshwater lagoons, with many places reaching depths of around 10 feet between the sand slopes. The quartz dune system here is constantly pushed by strong sea winds, shifting by several dozen feet each year and changing the shapes of the lagoons over time. This transformation creates a magical ecosystem where fish appear during the rainy season and survive beneath wet mud when the lagoons dry out. Salar de Uyuni on Bolivia's Altiplano Plateau is the largest natural salt flat on Earth, covered by an extraordinarily flat, white surface. During the dry season, the salt surface fractures into repeating hexagonal patterns, resembling an immense floor crafted by a master artisan. Spanning approximately 3,860 square miles, the salt flat creates a vast landscape where the boundary between land and sky seems to disappear. A thin layer of water covering the crystallized salt produces a perfect reflection effect, transforming the area into a giant natural mirror. This unique geological formation contains some of the world's most important mineral reserves, helping shape the future of modern energy technology. Perfect cubic salt crystals found throughout the landscape provide vivid evidence of nature's patient and remarkable ability to create beauty over time. Jiuzhaigou Valley in Sichuan Province, China, is a natural wonder renowned for its multicolored lakes and spectacular tiered waterfalls. High concentrations of calcium carbonate settle into layers along the lake beds, creating brilliant color patterns and striking visual effects throughout the valley. An interconnected system of lakes, linked by underground streams, forms a remarkable hydrological network that preserves exceptional water clarity across the landscape. Ancient tree trunks resting beneath the lakes have retained their shapes through time because of the abundant mineral content within the water. The unique geological structure of this protected region helps maintain crystal-clear waters even after prolonged periods of heavy rainfall. The presence of rare wildlife species and extensive old-growth forests highlights the immense ecological value of this extraordinary natural environment. The scenery shifts beautifully between cobalt blue lakes and brilliant golden conifer forests, creating a breathtaking masterpiece of nature. The valley's surreal beauty demonstrates the power of long-term geological processes, where nature itself has painted an unforgettable wonder. Chocolate Hills on Bohol Island in the Philippines is a remarkable landscape of more than 1,000 cone-shaped hills clustered across the countryside. More than 1,200 hills occupy roughly 19 square miles, creating a striking visual rhythm that defies expectations of a typical plain. The vegetation covering their surfaces changes color seasonally, taking on a warm brown appearance resembling giant chocolate treats across the quiet landscape. Natural erosion over immense periods gradually sculpted the limestone formations into remarkably uniform shapes, producing a geological masterpiece rarely found elsewhere. The distinctive appearance of these hills has become a cultural symbol, frequently featured in local publications and treasured as a national heritage landmark. This destination stands as clear evidence of long-term geological transformation, where untouched beauty demonstrates the enduring power of nature. Skaftafell Ice Cave within Vatnajökull National Park in Iceland is a dreamlike crystal palace sculpted from ancient ice deep inside a massive glacier. The deep blue color radiating from the ice walls results from light absorption, giving the cavern an enchanting and mysterious glow. Each cave possesses a unique structure because the glacier constantly moves, completely reshaping the landscape through recurring, natural cycles of change. Gray ash streaks blend into the ice walls, creating a striking contrast between pure frozen beauty and Iceland's characteristic black volcanic sand. The cave walls display smooth and sharply defined surfaces that appear carefully polished, producing an unreal beauty rarely seen in ordinary limestone caves. Profound silence fills the interior space, creating an otherworldly atmosphere where time seems suspended among ice compressed since the pre-industrial era. Waitomo glowworm caves in the Waikato region of New Zealand is a mysterious limestone cave system illuminated by countless glowing biological lights. The native glowworms produce shimmering silk strands resembling strings of pearls suspended throughout the cave ceiling to attract passing insects. The enchanting blue light from tens of thousands of tiny creatures covers the cavern roof, creating a galaxy-like spectacle deep underground. The contrast between overwhelming darkness and gentle bioluminescent light creates a surreal visual experience that blurs reality and illusion. Limestone stalactites and stalagmites developed across centuries, helping create an ideal natural environment that supports the glowworms throughout their life cycle. Natural erosion over approximately 30 million years carved durable cave chambers from ancient fossilized shells and coral deposits embedded within limestone. The cave system is carefully protected to maintain natural air conditions, ensuring the long-term stability of its unique ecosystem. The cave's untouched beauty demonstrates nature's remarkable vitality, where tiny organisms have created an irreplaceable wonder admired across the world. You will surely be mesmerized at Vahu Island in the Maldives, where millions of neon blue lights burst across the water surface to create an ultimate optical illusion that completely blurs all boundaries with the Milky Way. This surreal magic is activated by the mechanical pressure from the bare feet of tourists walking on the wet sand, which alters the cell membrane structure of dinoflagellates measuring only 0.02 inches. With a short wavelength, allowing it to travel tens of feet in the water, the bioluminescent blue light reflects an advanced evolutionary mechanism that helps microorganisms send warning signals to predators. By firmly preserving the natural darkness and banning high-voltage lighting systems, the government here has preserved the pristine ecosystem perfectly so that the Sea of Stars can continue to shine for generations. Welcome to Reynistranga of Iceland, where sharp basalt columns thrust straight into the sky like an ancient mystical fortress defying the ocean. This majestic geological complex was formed from volcanic eruptions beneath a thick ice layer, creating a perfect hexagonal prism geometric matrix. That pride is clearly shown in Langsamur, the tallest stack in the cluster, with an impressive height of nearly 217 feet, completely swallowing every gaze. Surrounding this massive structure is an absolute contrasting cinematic palette, combining the pitch-black volcanic ash sand and the white frothy waves. Local legend has it that these surreal stone blocks are actually mischievous trolls who were permanently turned to stone by the sunrise while trying to pull a ship ashore. The natural picture becomes even more unreal in winter when the northern lights dance on the rocky peaks, turning this place into a wonder worthy of being nominated as a World Natural Heritage Site. Giant's Causeway on the northern coast of Northern Ireland is a magnificent collection of tens of thousands of symmetrical geometric basalt columns. The basalt structure formed through volcanic eruptions 60 million years ago, creating uniform contraction cracks as the lava cooled. More than 40,000 hexagonal columns fit tightly together like giant honeycombs, forming an ordered natural chessboard amid the ocean's chaos. Towering black basalt layers contrast powerfully with deep blue water, creating a striking visual scene that challenges nature's limits. Each stone column has a different size and height, helping form delicate natural steps stretching along Northern Ireland's coastline. The structural perfection of these columns makes the place resemble a large-scale architectural work carefully arranged by human hands. Known as the Great Open-Air Marble Palace of Chile, the Marble Caves wonder stands majestically in the middle of a deep, freshwater lake, possessing a unique, monolithic geological structure on the planet. Having undergone over 6,000 years of continuous mechanical erosion by fierce lake waves, the giant calcium carbonate block has transformed into smooth, undulating domes like silk ribbons. What astonishes viewers the most is that the grayish-white stone walls originally have no fixed color, but they function like a giant reflecting mirror. The entire cave interior emits neon color bands from turquoise to brilliant cobalt blue, creating a surreal, and continuously moving visual effect. This magical blue shade appears thanks to the phenomenon of glacial flour refracting sunlight, as ancient ice sheets melt and crush rock into ultrafine dust. The brilliant contrast between the glowing lake and the surrounding snowy mountains is so impressive that NASA satellites can see it clearly from space. Thanks to that unique international beauty, this entire cave system has been officially recognized and strictly protected by the Chilean government under the Natural Sanctuary title since 1994. Kawa-Ijen hides the largest acid crater lake on the planet, spanning 0.6 miles in width, where electric blue flames erupt in the night like a scene from another world. The sight of miners wearing gas masks amidst plumes of white smoke and neon blue light makes them look exactly like a crew of astronauts on a mission to the surface of Mars. These real-life supermen extract sulfur using entirely primitive methods, relying solely on human strength and flexible bamboo carrying poles instead of heavy machinery. The lake sitting at the base of the crater spans about 1 kilometer in width, surrounded by sheer silver-gray cliffs completely devoid of vegetation due to the extreme acidity. When darkness falls, these blue flames dance up to 5 meters high at the bottom of the crater, creating a spectacle as magnificent as thousands of tiny comets burning on the ground. The blend of lemon-yellow sulfur, silvery gray rock, and turquoise water creates a natural oil painting with the most perfect color proportions you will ever witness. The natural wonder, Mount Roraima in Venezuela, captivates people with the shape of a towering giant stone tabletop, standing majestically between heaven and earth, like a prehistoric battleship floating in an ocean of white clouds. This unique and distinct geological structure dates back an ancient 2 billion years, completely isolated from the world below, thanks to vertical 90-degree black sandstone walls rising over 1,300 feet high. Due to its location intercepting moisture, clouds from the jungle continuously gather and pour down torrential rains almost every day, transforming the entire vast plateau surface into a sandstone desert eroded into countless bizarre shapes. On that year-round waterlogged ground, the low-angle sunlight frequently combines with dense fog to create eerie white fog bows, painting a surreal landscape that challenges all boundaries of reality. To reach this mystical land, explorers must endure a grueling trekking journey, clinging to a steep and slippery trail right beside the vertical cliff that drops catastrophically into an abyss thousands of feet deep. The perfect combination of hanging waterfalls, valleys gleaming with quartz crystals, and the sacred legends of the indigenous Piman people has turned this place into a globally renowned natural treasure. Could you ever imagine that the United States hides a Bisti/Denazin wilderness stretching over 45,000 acres, a place possessing a surreal appearance that challenges all visual limits, just like a distant planet in the solar system? This mysterious land was honored by National Geographic as one of the most spectacular adventure destinations thanks to its strange geological formations that are unimaginable to the human eye. In the ancient Navajo language, the name of this place means a large area of clay hills and the sacred image of a standing crane. This location is a rare spot on Earth that completely exposes the KPG boundary, a layer of cosmic dust sediment from the asteroid impact that wiped out the entire era of dinosaurs. Unique hoodoo rock structures, shaped like delicate sandstone wings, hovering against gravity, lie scattered alongside fossilized wood rivers from the Cretaceous period, weighing thousands of pounds. Overcoming the appearance of a dead planet, the wild ecosystem at Bisti Denazin Wilderness still thrives resiliently with the presence of golden eagles and wild coyotes. Antelope Canyon in Arizona, United States, is a breathtaking geological wonder, famous for graceful curves sculpted into massive sandstone formations. Smooth sandstone walls twist and flow through the canyon, creating mysterious spiral patterns resembling ribbons drifting across the desert landscape. Colors along the sandstone surfaces shift delicately from brilliant orange tones to soft shades of pink and purple, producing a surreal visual experience. The canyon's sandstone structure features remarkably smooth surfaces, shaped by natural erosion over millions of years, creating an almost flawless appearance. Layered rock deposits stacked upon one another resemble growth rings within ancient trees, preserving a detailed record of geological history. The combination of towering, narrow passages and reflected light transforms the canyon interior into a natural gallery of stone artistry. A geological rift 30 million years ago tore open the Earth's crust to create Wadi Rum in Jordan, a desert encyclopedia possessing a rare dual heritage power of humanity. This wild wonder possesses a surreal color palette with vibrant red sand strips due to iron oxide in the north, then abruptly transforms into pure quartz white hues when shifting gradually toward the south. When approaching the towering cliffs, visitors will be astonished by the undulating sandstone surfaces sagging down to look exactly like giant wax candles due to millions of years of honeycomb weathering. To preserve that fantasy space intact, the government and Bedouin tribes signed strict agreements to absolutely ban all modern construction activities or concrete paving of roads. This place is completely isolated from urban radio waves, so the night sky is extremely clear, allowing humans to directly observe the Milky Way shining brilliantly like a silver silk ribbon with the naked eye. Instead of concrete buildings, tourists will stay in transparent dome bubble tents designed to mimic outer space research stations on another planet. Located at an elevation of 6,040 feet, Badabi Surt in Iran is a geological masterpiece where bubbling mineral water rises powerfully from deep cracks within the Alborz Mountains. The unique existence of this site comes from thousands of years of interaction between two hot mineral springs with completely different chemical properties. While the first spring contains extremely high salt levels, the second is rich in iron oxide, and constantly deposits calcium carbonate sediments over geological time. This sediment saturation process hardened into hundreds of travertine stone terraces with bright orange and rusty red colors rarely found in other rock formations. The stacked limestone layers create shallow, clear pools that work like calm, natural mirrors, reflecting the changing colors of the sky. This iron oxide terrace system reflects light most strongly at sunrise and sunset, creating a visually striking contrast for viewers. You will surely be overwhelmed when you arrive at Las Coloradas, home to giant salt lakes with brilliant fuchsia pink water lying beside the deep blue coast of Mexico. This unique pink color forms completely naturally as seawater evaporates under heat of more than 90 degrees Fahrenheit, causing salt-loving halobacteria and red algae to multiply intensely. In this extremely salty environment, the tiny Artemia salina shrimp, about 0 inches long when rounded, is the main creature that thrives and stores a large amount of carotenoid pigment in its body. This special food source attracts thousands of wild flamingos with wingspans of about 5 feet, giving their feathers one of the deepest orange-pink shades in the world. Although it is now the large-scale industrial salt production capital of Yucatan, this land still maintains international conservation recognition thanks to a production process without chemical interference. Boiling Lake in the island nation of Dominica is one of the most extreme natural wonders on Earth, featuring a massive lake that has remained in a constant state of boiling for centuries. This remarkable site is actually a flooded fumarole, measuring about 200 to 250 feet in diameter, positioned above a major fracture in the Earth's crust within the Caribbean region. Groundwater continuously absorbs intense heat from molten magma below, forcing pressure and gas bubbles upward and creating its permanent churning surface. Temperatures recorded around the rocky edges of the lake typically range from 180 to 197 degrees Fahrenheit, while conditions near the center are believed to be much hotter. Very little vegetation survives near the lake because of high concentrations of sulfur gases and strongly acidic conditions that can rapidly corrode metal structures. With a name meaning Lake of the Land of Palms, Chott El Djerid in Tunisia is not a cool blue body of water, but a vast inland salt field and one of the harshest landscapes of the Sahara Desert. Lying about 56 feet below sea level, this basin is fed by ancient underground water sources, but the desert heat quickly evaporates them and leaves behind a thick mineral layer. On that salt snow surface, the crystallization of sodium sulfate and magnesium creates shallow pools in ruby pink and emerald green, painting a uniquely haunting geological palette. If you want to step onto a dead planet here on Earth, visit the Hverir geothermal area in Iceland, where the ground constantly hisses and releases thick smoke. Life almost completely disappears in this land because the soil acidity is extremely high, making it impossible for grass or other organisms to survive and grow. Instead of the green color of nature, the land shows a strange patchwork of bright sulfur yellow and rusty red from iron oxide deposits. In the middle of that colorful ground, large mud pools keep bubbling as gas pressure pushes hot liquid volcanic ash up to the surface. This extreme energy comes from a huge active magma pocket less than 3,280 feet deep, constantly heating and reshaping the terrain. That unique harshness has turned this place into a real exploration site, helping American scientists test autonomous equipment for Mars. Located in the remote desert of Australia, Karlu Karlu is a unique geological wonder, filled with thousands of giant round granite boulders balanced in extremely unusual ways. This ancient underground rock base has gone through natural peeling weathering for 1.7 billion years, revealing massive boulders up to 17 feet wide. The greatest attraction of this site lies in many rocks weighing dozens of tons, loosely stacked on top of each other, yet still standing in gravity-defying balance. Inside this stone maze, you will see huge granite boulders, split almost perfectly by straight cracks caused by temperature expansion and contraction between day and night. The strangeness becomes even clearer at sunrise, when all the rocks change from dull grey to brilliant red-orange under the desert sunlight. The spiritual experience becomes deeper when you know that this entire 4,452-acre land is a sacred and protected religious place for 4 Aboriginal groups. Projecting off the northern coast of Taiwan, Yelu Geopark is a narrow 1-mile headland with an otherworldly landform and a strange collection of limestone rocks. The special formation of this open-air museum comes from tectonic uplift that raised Miocene sedimentary layers and constant erosion from the sea. The hardness difference between the rough calcium carbonate sandstone above and the softer rock below created dozens of mushroom-shaped rocks from 3 feet to 10 feet tall. The constant destructive force of salty wind and foamy Pacific water has carved these sedimentary rock surfaces into thousands of unique honeycomb holes. The landscape is highly visual, as naturally weathered rock structures have been shaped into forms resembling solid ginger roots or ancient shoes. Today, the neck of the Royal Icon rock is only 54 inches wide and is thinning by half an inch each year, so it is predicted to collapse completely before 2040. You will feel as if you are walking on another planet when you step into craters of the Moon, a land covering more than 750,000 acres of dark black volcanic rock in Idaho. This surreal terrain was formed by 8 major eruption periods over thousands of years through a deep crack in Earth's crust called the Great Rift. The entire surface was violently reshaped, leaving thick, cooled basalt lava flows up to 10,000 feet deep, crystallized into rough and sharp, cinder-like rocks. Its lunar-like geological structure is so unique that NASA once brought Apollo 14 astronauts here for field training in 1969. Beneath the black rocks that absorb intense sunlight lies a system of hollow lava tubes, forming underground caves where ice and snow remain all year. This harsh environment now serves as both a natural space laboratory and a strictly protected national preserve for scientific research. Painted Dunes in California captivates visitors with colorful volcanic ash hills that look like a giant oil painting in the middle of the valley. This extraordinary landscape is not desert sand at all, but is made from millions of tons of cinder and pumice left behind by ancient eruptions. The bright colors of these hills formed through oxidation under extremely high heat, when iron-rich ash fell directly into hot lava. That special geological reaction changed the original gray ash layers into perfectly separated bands of red, orange, pink, and lemon yellow. On the barren, acidic ground filled with sulfur, a few green pine trees still grow alone, completing a unique surreal landscape. If you want to touch the surreal edge of Earth, visit Sala de Tara in Chile, where a white salt field lies alone at an elevation of 14,100 feet. In this harsh location, the dry air with humidity close to 0% has turned the whole area into a completely uninhabited desert. That seemingly frozen life is awakened by rivers of melted ice from surrounding volcanic peaks, creating a system of shallow marshes filled with minerals. This special salty water environment feeds unique algae species, attracting thousands of flamingos to live there and tinting one corner of the desert sky pink. The contrast of living creatures becomes even more magnificent because they are surrounded by giant, solid volcanic rock columns, eroded by wind into strange shapes. Located in the coldest polar desert on Earth, the Mount Erebus ice towers are a system of giant ice towers formed by the extreme meeting of volcanic fire and Antarctic snow. This wonder forms when hot steam from the active volcano leaks through rock cracks, then immediately freezes as it touches the sub-zero air outside. The buildup of steam over many decades has created hollow ice chimneys, standing tall, with an impressive average height from 20 to 33 feet. When sunlight passes through the thick ice layer, the hollow space inside the towers and the underground cave system glow with a mysterious deep blue color. This warm environment and permanent darkness have supported a unique ecosystem of ancient microorganisms that grow entirely by feeding on volcanic minerals. Have you ever imagined a world where massive mountains truly float in mid-air like mysterious rocky islands? Tianzi Mountain appears completely overwhelming, with thousands of quartz sandstone pillars standing upright, creating a magnificent mountain forest that challenges every geometric perception. The geological formation process lasting 400 million years, along with natural erosion, has sculpted slender pillars rising over 1,200 feet above the valley below. The sharp contrast between the sturdy red sandstone surface and the surrounding lush green vegetation has created a unique natural wonder that nothing else can compare to. When thick clouds cover the base of the pillars, the scenery here transforms completely to become an unreal world that lies beyond human imagination. This is the most powerful testament to the great creative force of the earth, where raw beauty exists sustainably, despite harsh erosion over millions of years of history. Spotted Lake is a surreal natural wonder located in Canada, featuring mysterious, colorful spots appearing on its surface during the summer months. Spanning 37 acres, this salt lake without any outlet contains one of the highest concentrations of minerals found anywhere on our entire planet. As the water evaporates significantly, hundreds of concentrated mineral pools form vibrant circles that make the landscape look like the surface of a distant planet. The paths between these colored spots consist of crystallized salt, creating a giant lace pattern covering the surface of the 10 feet deep basin. To the indigenous community, every single pool in this lake is sacred because they possess unique healing properties passed down through many generations. Today, this wonder is strictly protected to ensure its integrity, making it an enchanting natural mystery hidden within the heart of the wilderness. Caño Cristales is a surreal natural wonder with the ability to turn into a vibrant rainbow flowing through the heart of the vast forest. This spectacular color transformation is created by an endemic aquatic plant species that can only grow in this specific river. The river stretches more than 62 miles through ancient mountains where quartz rocks were formed 1,200,000,000 years ago. From June to November, shades of red, yellow, and green blend together to create a stunning, natural masterpiece beneath the crystal-clear water. Although it is a unique geological wonder, the river only displays its magnificent beauty when the water level reaches the perfect depth under sunlight. This is proof of the magic of nature, where geology and biology combine to create landscapes that go beyond all common imagination. Chand Baori stands like a massive inverted pyramid piercing deep into the earth, creating a surreal geometric illusion that is truly mesmerizing. The structure features perfect symmetry with 3,500 narrow steps, which are arranged in an incredibly complex and dense network. This is one of the deepest stepwells in the world, reaching a depth of 100 feet, challenging every limit of ancient engineering. Ancient artisans created a timeless architectural masterpiece where water management functionality blends perfectly with aesthetic art. When looking down from the top edge of the well, the arrangement of the steps leaves viewers overwhelmed by the massive and extraordinary scale. Every intricate carving on the well walls shows the maximum respect for the precious source of life for humanity. Chand Baori now becomes a vivid testament to human intelligence in creating sustainable survival spaces throughout the years. Chingi de Bemaraha appears as a giant limestone maze possessing millions of sharp spikes pointing straight up toward the high sky. These vertical limestone blocks can reach a height of 330 feet, creating an extremely bizarre and unreal landscape. The formation process of this wonder began 200 million years ago, when ancient coral layers deposited under the deep ocean. After rising above the water, rainwater eroded the cold stone surface to create the fearsome, vertical blade structure existing today. The harshness of the terrain here has created completely isolated ecosystems, where many creatures have evolved in highly unique ways. Visitors, wishing to admire the majestic beauty of this stone forest, are required to use specialized safety equipment to cross deep ravines. This place is truly a vivid testament to the wonderful creative ability of time and natural geological processes. Las Salinas de Torrevieja is an unreal natural wonder featuring a vibrant pink lake that resembles a mysterious alien planet. This magical pink color is created by the explosion of Dunaliella salina algae in an environment with an extremely high salt concentration. Massive salt mountains reaching dozens of feet form from the natural evaporation process to create a stunning white contrast across the landscape. The symbiosis between halobacterium and salt algae has transformed this entire ecosystem into a giant living laboratory for biological research. This area acts as an important ecological filter, helping to maintain the necessary salt balance for the vast surrounding biological environment. Thousands of flamingos frequently appear in the shallow waters to feed and create a vivid natural picture for every single visitor. The beauty of this wonder is the clearest proof of the strong adaptability of nature throughout millions of years of miraculous formation. Hang Son Dung appears as a planet completely isolated from the ground due to its massive scale and strange, primitive ecosystem. Two natural skylights from the sinkholes allow sunlight to shine deep into the cave to create conditions for the forest to grow. With a volume of up to 38,500,000 cubic meters, this cave can easily contain a modern neighborhood with many high-rise buildings inside. Stalactite columns reaching 260 feet, formed from the process of calcite deposition over millions of years, create an impressive beauty. Unique creatures evolving in a permanently dark environment have turned this place into a natural biological laboratory. Rare cave pearls the size of a baseball have proven the wonderful creative power of nature. Fly Geyser appears as a surreal wonder that possesses a mesmerizing beauty amidst the arid desert of the United States. This geological structure is not a pure natural creation, but is the result of an accidental well drilling mistake. Travertine limestone layers stacked on top of each other have formed unique and strange mounds reaching up to 30 feet. Vibrant colors from orange to green covering the surface of the mounds are evidence of the growth of algae. The flow of mineral-rich water constantly erupting from the ground has created a landscape that changes continuously over time. The combination of geological formation processes and human intervention makes this place the rarest masterpiece ever seen. The mysterious beauty of this landmark is currently strictly preserved as a natural heritage site with high artistic value. Have you ever imagined a lake with a vibrant bubblegum pink color that exists persistently within the heart of untouched nature? Lake Hillier possesses a strange color that never changes even when the water is taken out and placed in separate containers. This impressive color originates from the presence of a special type of algae that can produce pigments to protect itself from the sunlight. With a length of about 1,968 feet, this wonder is completely separated from the ocean and surrounded by a strip of fine white sand that is extremely striking. The salt concentration in the lake is extremely high, making it impossible for ordinary organisms to survive within this unique and harsh water environment. The visual contrast between the pink of the lake and the green of the forest creates an unrealistic landscape that makes anyone feel overwhelmed. This is a vivid testament to the mysterious beauty of the planet that we have not been able to fully explore despite many years passing. Huacachina is the only natural oasis in South America, possessing an unreal landscape with a turquoise lake located deep inside the desert. The giant sand dunes surrounding this oasis reach heights of over 500 feet above sea level, creating a very strange terrain. The central freshwater lake is nourished by groundwater streams, flowing down from the Andes Mountains, creating fresh life amid the arid sandy land. Visitors often choose to participate in sandboarding experiences on slopes reaching thousands of feet to explore the surreal beauty of the entire dune system. Geologists have discovered many fossilized marine life traces buried deep under the yellow sand, proving a million-year-old ocean history. The persistent existence of rare palm groves by the lakeshore makes this oasis one of the most impressive natural wonders humans have ever found worldwide. Jiangye landform looks like a giant oil painting with vibrant, colorful stripes stretching across the landscape. The layers of sandstone and minerals piled up over 24 million years create a perfect layered structure like a cake. The dominant red color, combined with shades of yellow, green, and gray, creates an unrealistic visual effect for the observer. Under the impact of powerful tectonic movements, the initial rock layers were folded and pushed into strange shapes. This entire area spreads over an area of 219 square miles, creating a landscape completely different from anywhere else. The reflection of light on the mineral's surfaces makes the mountain ranges change color intensity in an impressive and mysterious way. This place has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site thanks to its unique geological value and rare surreal beauty. Tsua Ocean Trench appears as a vibrant turquoise gem hidden deep underground, challenging all conventional geometric logic. This geological wonder formed from the collapse of an ancient volcanic lava tube system, creating a massive sinkhole. With a depth reaching 98 feet, this place possesses a vertical structure with surrounding cliffs, creating a completely isolated space. To reach the clear water, people must climb down a wooden ladder nearly 30 feet long, an experience that feels incredibly thrilling. An underground tunnel system connects this pool directly to the vast ocean, helping the water level maintain absolute stability over many years. The surreal and pristine beauty of this sinkhole creates a natural masterpiece that leaves everyone who sees it feeling completely overwhelmed. Hamilton Pool Preserve is a mysterious collapsed limestone cave with a turquoise pool hidden deep underground. Over millions of years of formation, the ancient underground river dome collapsed to create a magnificent enclosed space. The most impressive highlight is the waterfall 50 feet high, falling directly from the cliff into the calm, still lake. This entire area possesses an isolated ecosystem where ancient plant species thrive on the rocky cliffs. Because of natural erosion, this place has turned into an isolated oasis with beauty that is hard to believe in wild lands. Visitors arriving here feel overwhelmed by the unique geological structure, along with the landscape looking like realistic science fiction movies. Fingal's Cave appears as a massive basalt cathedral with a geometric structure that is incredibly perfect in the middle of the ocean. The towering hexagonal stone columns form a cave arch 23 feet high, making this natural construction look just like a human structure. The cooling process of lava flow 60 million years ago unintentionally created stone pillars that are amazingly regular in their shape. The surreal beauty of this cave, which is 285 feet deep, always makes those who first visit feel overwhelmed. Although created by the intense power of nature, the cave still maintains absolute balance between its solid rock surfaces. The strange combination of geology and geometry has turned this place into an enduring symbol in the history of human exploration. Red Beach in Panjin City, Liaoning Province, China, is a wetland resembling an endless giant red velvet carpet stretching beside the ocean. The dominant seepweed changes from green to brilliant red as it accumulates salt within its cells through repeated growth cycles. The Liao River constantly deposits sediment, shifting the coastline and expanding new territory for this remarkable red landscape to develop. Millions of migratory birds stop here, creating lively accents across the vast red carpet of this nationally protected reserve. This wetland serves as an important link in the international ecosystem, protecting rare species within an untouched natural environment. The vivid beauty of Red Beach needs no human intervention, proving nature's powerful vitality under harsh soil conditions. Lake Natron in Tanzania is an alkaline lake with brilliant red waters, creating a surreal landscape that resembles the surface of a distant planet. The extremely high concentration of sodium carbonate acts as a natural preservative, causing creatures that fall into the lake to become permanently hardened. The lake's distinctive deep red color comes from salt-loving microorganisms that thrive in the water, forming a biological shield against ultraviolet radiation. The lake surface is covered with bright white salt crusts, producing a striking visual contrast against the dense red waters. This unique ecosystem serves as the primary breeding ground for millions of lesser flamingos, creating a constantly moving sea of pink. The surrounding terrain contains numerous black volcanic rock formations, further emphasizing the wild and mysterious character of this vast salt plain. Wave Rock in Western Australia's Wheatbelt region is an ancient granite formation about 2.7 billion years old, shaped like a frozen ocean wave. Brilliant color bands running along the rock wall, formed through millions of years of mineral accumulation, creating an impressive natural curtain. The base has been eroded inward into a subtle flared slope, making this natural structure appear as if it is about to collapse. The strange curving shape of the stone surface resembles a giant sculptural masterpiece accidentally gifted to the natural landscape by creation. The isolated rock mass stands alone on a vast plain, like a stone spaceship landing in the heart of ancient Australia. The intricate stone veins across its surface formed over immense time, making this landmark a model for landscapes from another planet. Sossusvlei Deep, within Namibia's Namib-Naukluft National Park, is a desert wonder featuring some of the tallest and most spectacular red sand dunes on Earth. The geological landscape developed from an ancient desert that has existed for more than 55 million years, displaying deep red sands resembling ruby tones. The dunes feature sharp ridgelines shaped over immense spans of time, creating remarkably precise forms across the untouched wilderness. Dead tree trunks stand prominently within brilliant white clay pans, forming a haunting and dramatic contrast that gives the landscape an eerie character. Clay basins scattered among enormous dunes create a breathtaking panorama whose grandeur rivals many of the world's most celebrated natural wonders. Cappadocia, in central Anatolia, Turkey, is a surreal landscape where strange rock pillars rise mysteriously from the ground across a remarkable terrain. Millions of years of natural erosion transformed soft volcanic ash deposits into extraordinary stone formations, unlike those found anywhere else. Ancient murals preserved on cave walls demonstrate the enduring historical significance of structures carefully carved into the mountainside long ago. Thousands of rock pillars, reaching approximately 131 feet in height, stand across the wilderness, creating a vast and mysterious outdoor stone museum. Labyrinths carved directly into rocky cliffs form an interconnected architectural network that reflects the legacy of some of history's earliest communities. Rock surfaces displaying colors from pale gold to soft pink have made this destination a model for landscapes resembling distant worlds. Acting as a waterless aquarium deep underground, Reed Flute Cave in China is one of the most magical natural wonders on the planet, with an age of up to 180 million years. This great subterranean wonder actually once lay deep at the bottom of an ancient ocean before intense geological tectonic movements pushed this entire limestone mountain high up. Experiencing millions of years of water erosion, the heart of the mountain has turned into a surreal maze possessing a dense and exquisite concentration of stalactites that no artificial craftsman can match. The point that makes the unprecedented fame of this place is the multicolored neon lighting system precisely projected, transforming the dark space into a distant planet, like in Hollywood's science fiction movies. As visitors walk on the pathways, the absolutely still underground lakes act as a giant mirror reflecting the entire brilliant cave ceiling above. That perfect reflection blurs all boundaries between reality and illusion, creating a powerful visual anomaly that makes viewers feel as if they are floating in an endless universe hundreds of feet deep. Not only a geological masterpiece, the deep cliff faces inside the cave also preserve more than 70 ancient steles in ink from the year 792 AD during the Tang dynasty. If you long to stand beneath the giant eyes of nature, peering into the underworld, Devetashka Cave in Bulgaria is the surreal gateway leading into a completely different reality. Upon stepping through the monumental entrance, you will plunge into an overwhelming grand hall that measures over 25,800 square feet, with the cave ceiling soaring to nearly 200 feet. This monumental geological architecture was eroded over millions of years, creating a system of 7 massive sinkholes known by locals by the mystical name of Oknata. From those unique skylights, sunlight pours directly down into the earth to form thick beams of light cutting through the mist like a perfect cinematic effect. Thanks to the abundant light source combined with consistently high humidity, a strange plant ecosystem with lush green moss has thrived vigorously against the grey stone backdrop. The surreal life inside the cave dome becomes even more extraordinary, as this place serves as one of the most critical sanctuary colonies for over 30,000 bats in Europe. It is the perfect harmony between Earth's geology, wild nature, and the flow of history that has transformed this national natural monument into an icon of beauty beyond imagination. Nestled within the majestic Alps of Austria, Eisriesenwelt is the largest ice cave system on the planet, with a colossal underground maze stretching over 26 miles. This surreal natural superstructure is so immense that it can swallow more than 450 standard American football fields and surpasses all limits of human imagination. The unique existence of this landmark stems from the process of groundwater continuously seeping and freezing to create structures that slightly change their shape year over year. When tour guides ignite bright magnesium flares, the dazzling light reflects through natural ice lenses to create a shimmering visual effect. The most magnificent spectacle appears when flowing waterfalls suddenly freeze mid-air due to rainwater seeping through fractures in the limestone cliffs. This wonder is currently under strict protection by the Global Geoparks Network, thanks to its unparalleled aesthetic value. Have you ever imagined that a surreal ancient cathedral could be fully sculpted by ocean waves right at Benagil Cave in Portugal? This wonder hides a smooth, dry, golden sand beach entirely enclosed by limestone walls dating back up to 23 million years. The globally shocking highlight of the cave is a huge skylight opening a direct view straight up to the sparkling deep blue sky. This natural window of light was formed after a spectacular mechanical collapse when the core of the limestone ceiling crashed into the sea. When the sun rises high, the sunlight shines straight through the skylight to create a dense, brilliant pillar of light that illuminates the entire space. The absolute blend between million-year-old rock and the aquamarine Atlantic Ocean water has turned this place into one of the 10 natural wonders of the world. You will mistakenly think you are lost in the middle of a giant Arctic glacier when witnessing the White Desert in Egypt, a one-of-a-kind chalk desert in the world. This surreal terrain was originally an ancient ocean graveyard, where dense layers of marine organism remains accumulated before the sea receded and exposed the stark white rock layers. Undergoing millions of years of erosion, the porous limestone structures turned into majestic natural sculptures that challenge the gravity of Earth. The desert surface is also scattered with natural gypsum crystals, resembling sharp-edged roses, crystallized from the evaporation of ancient saltwater lakes. Thanks to possessing outstanding aesthetic value, along with a unique geological history, this entire land has been included in the strict conservation list of the UNESCO organization. However, this magical natural masterpiece is gradually disappearing due to the very process of wind erosion continuously shaving and destroying the chalk blocks through every century. Known as the first wonder of the world in China, Shilin is not a lush green forest, but a giant limestone maze that challenges all ordinary laws of nature. Spanning an area of over 135,000 acres, this cursed forest possesses tens of thousands of uniquely shaped stone pinnacles soaring high into the sky like the swords of gods. Thanks to the asymmetrical erosion of rainwater over 270 million years, the unique karst topography here constantly deceives the vision of tourists by transforming into the shapes of elephant herds or giant stone lotuses. That surreal grandeur has turned this place into an ideal natural film studio for the classic masterpiece Journey to the West, 1986, and the Hollywood blockbuster Transformers, creating ultimate fantasy scenes. Walking through the narrow, breathtaking pathways, viewers will shudder in awe at the massive stone blocks weighing tens of thousands of pounds precariously wedged right above their heads. Moving beyond a mere geographical location, this wonder stands as an eternal symbol of resilience, remaining steadfast through countless mass extinctions and violent movements of the Earth's crust. Ruling as a spiritual fortress that challenges all earthly limits, the landmark of Meteora in Greece is a dual wonder honored by UNESCO for its unimaginable fusion of nature and humanity. Enduring over 60 million years of complex geological formation, the colossal sandstone towers soaring hundreds of feet suddenly became the pedestals for ancient structures. Viewed from above, the entire architectural complex curves seamlessly along the natural rock edges, creating a spectacular masterpiece that appears to grow directly out of the mother rock itself. This place possesses fortified secret chambers housing a treasury of priceless cultural wealth, including extremely rare, handwritten calfskin manuscripts from the 9th century. The sheer peril of the precipitous cliffs gave rise to a classic behind-the-scenes story about a pulley net and a rope that was only replaced when it broke on its own. The sublime will and infinite faith of humanity have transformed this precarious land into a living symbol, transcending the most rigorous boundaries of nature. Located in the United States, Bryce Canyon is the only natural wonder possessing the largest density of hoodoo rock pillars on Earth, creating a majestic, surreal stone cathedral, powerful enough to challenge every architectural rule of humanity. Despite bearing the title of a canyon, in reality, there is no river flowing through this place, but this entire massive masterpiece was sculpted completely by the invisible hand of frost over millions of years. These sandstone pillars stand majestically in the middle of the desert, with a colossal height of up to nearly 200 feet, a grand dimension that surpasses even the famous Statue of Liberty. The presence of iron oxide and manganese oxide has transformed the sedimentary cliffs into a brilliant oil painting with perfect layering, continuously burning bright like an eternal flame. Not only mesmerizing people with the colors of the rocks, this area is also honored as an international dark sky park, thanks to possessing a Milky Way so brilliant that it can cast its own shadows on the ground. To preserve the priceless beauty against the wave of uncontrolled exploitation, a supreme presidential decree was signed to place this entire land under strict protection starting from 1923. Do you believe that hidden within the harsh Sahara Desert lies the Enedi Massif, a stone desert larger than the country of Switzerland and the greatest outdoor prehistoric art gallery on the planet? The massive formation rises like a steel shield against the shifting sands, boasting one of the tallest natural stone arches on Earth that bends across the sky at nearly 400 feet. Wandering through these natural cave walls, you will face tens of thousands of petroglyphs carved and painted over 7,000 years ago, transforming the entire massif into the world's most magnificent prehistoric museum. This is also a cradle of human history, where the famous Toumai hominid fossil was discovered in 2001, marking a pivotal moment in our understanding of human origins in Africa. Life here clings to murky water pools, where nomadic tribes revere the resident dwarf crocodiles as spirits guarding the water, ensuring that as long as the crocodiles live, the oasis never dries up. The Enedi Massif is more than just a cluster of rock. It is a primordial world that defies the laws of time and the crushing desolation of the desert. A geological error in 1971 transformed the Karakum Desert into the home of the Darvaza gas crater, a massive methane fire pit that has been burning continuously for 55 years. This wonder formed when a Soviet drilling team collapsed an underground gas pocket, causing their entire rig and machinery to plummet into a 70-meter-wide sinkhole. Instead of volcanic magma, the flame is sustained by a high-pressure methane reserve, venting through more than 1,000 small fissures along the walls of the 30-meter-deep crater. In the middle of the desert night, the crater radiates intense thermal energy with a vibrant orange glow that illuminates low-altitude clouds, creating an overwhelming visual impact. For decades, the site lacked any engineering barriers, allowing people to approach the very edge of the precipice to observe the interaction between pressurized gas and combustion at close range. According to observations from early 2025, despite signs of weakening gas intensity, Darvaza remains the largest naturally burning entity within the global network of gas fields. Nyiragongo hosts the world's largest and most active lava lake, serving as a primary geological feature of the East African Rift system. Rising to an altitude of 11,385 feet, the summit of this massive stratovolcano frequently pierces the clouds, forming an isolated landmark amidst the equatorial sky. When night falls, the crater appears as a glowing lake of fire, where currents of orange-red magma churn and roll continuously. At the center of the lake, the temperature of this luminous fluid hits 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, a heat intensity capable of rapidly altering the state of any material that touches it. To reach this wonder, you must complete a 6-hour trek climbing steep slopes of volcanic pumice as the air thins with every step. This is the largest crystal kingdom in Europe, the Vatnajökull ice cap, a peerless mass of ice that feels like a frozen white ocean lifted high into the sky. At its deepest points, this crystal layer reaches a thickness of 3,000 feet, creating the sensation of standing on a giant frozen sky suspended nearly 1,000 meters above the ground. Entering the ice caves, a vibrant sapphire blue appears, the result of ice being so compressed that all air bubbles are expelled, allowing only the most brilliant turquoise light to penetrate. Some ice blocks at the center of Vatnajökull have existed for over 1,000 years, so touching the surface is like connecting directly with the water that froze back when ancient Viking explorers first set sail to discover the world. Walking on the glacier requires crampons, where every step you take creates a crisp, crunchy sound that echoes through the silence, providing a soothing soundtrack to the journey of discovery. The structure of the ice caves shifts daily, making every trip a unique experience, as nature constantly dissolves and weaves entirely new crystal palaces by each winter. Silfra Fissure is the only place on the planet that allows you to swim effortlessly through the magnificent gap separating the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. The biggest visual shock occurs when you dip your face into the water, as the visibility stretches beyond 330 feet, where the absolute clarity makes the water appear invisible and warps your perception of depth. This irrational purity comes from water filtering through thousands of layers of volcanic basalt rock, making it the most pristine, natural freshwater reservoir on Earth. Unlike any other body of water in the world, you can remove your snorkel and take a direct sip of crystal clear water while you are swimming. The fissure is not stationary, but breathes with the rhythm of the planet, as the two continental walls continue to drift apart by approximately 0.79 inches every year. The valley surrounding this turquoise ribbon of water is the historic site where ancient Norse people established the Althing, one of the world's first democratic parliaments. Ikil is a masterpiece forged from the cataclysmic impact of an asteroid millions of years ago, fracturing the limestone shelf and causing the cavern ceiling to collapse into this magnificent open-air cenote in the heart of the Yucatan. Spanning nearly 200 feet in diameter, this cylindrical marvel looks as if a giant hand carved a perfectly round gateway straight into the heart of the jungle. Unlike other sinkholes often used for sacrifices, the serene beauty of Ikil made it an elite sanctuary where ancient kings and high priests performed cleansing rituals to align their spirits with the cosmos. The most breathtaking sight is the curtain of ancient tree roots cascading over 80 feet from the rim, hanging suspended in the air to gracefully brush the mirror-like water below. This surreal setting hosted the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, where you can watch elite athletes plunge 90 feet through the tangled canopy of roots into the abyss as thousands watch in awe. To honor the sanctity of these waters, you are strictly required to wash away 100% of your sunscreen and synthetic chemicals before being granted access to the pool. Thor's Well is the drainpipe of the Pacific, the most classic moniker describing the image of millions of tons of seawater flowing continuously into the stone well like a giant draining bathtub. Although appearing as a captivating abyss, this well is actually about 20 feet deep with an equivalent diameter. At the peak of high tide, a powerful column of water jets 20 to 40 feet into the air, creating a glistening mist of water like crystal shards before cascading back onto the rocks. This is the location chosen by photographers worldwide to capture the perfect long-exposure shot, requiring sharp focus when monitoring for unexpected sneaker waves. To stay safe from waves that can arrive at any moment, you should maintain a reasonable distance and constantly watch the tide to fully enjoy the pure power of the ocean. Dean's Blue Hole is one of the deepest ocean sinkholes on the planet, piercing through the continental shelf to a terrifying depth of 663 feet, as deep as a 60-story skyscraper buried upside down at the bottom of the sea. The craziest part about this coordinate is that you do not need a boat to reach the sinkhole. Travelers can walk from the soft sand in knee-deep water, and with just one more step, you will fall straight into the abyss, 663 feet deep. For centuries, locals never dared to swim near the edge, believing the bottom to be the lair of Lusca, a mythological monster, half shark and half octopus, known for creating giant whirlpools that suck the curious down into the underworld. Once a cursed place, it has transformed into a mecca for freedivers, where people with lungs of steel take a single breath and plunge into the darkness, pushing biological limits to the extreme. The rim of the sinkhole is a magnificent graveyard, storing fossilized coral skeletons, tens of thousands of years old, acting as sturdy foundation bricks that keep the opening a perfect circle. Thanks to its location, deep within a small bay, shielded by natural cliffs, the structure of this blue hole has never been destroyed by the superstorms that sweep across the Caribbean. Nestled in the fog of a thousand-island nation, you are stepping into a dreamscape where giant swords sprout from the ground to reach the blue sky, the Sagano Bamboo Forest. This is not a mere bamboo bush, but tens of thousands of giant bamboo stalks standing perfectly straight up to 100 feet, forming a massive biological barrier that completely obscures the sky. Bamboo is the fastest growing plant on the planet, with each shoot capable of piercing the earth and growing up to 3 feet in just 24 hours. The most surreal aspect lies beneath the ground, where the entire forest is actually a single superorganism connected by a massive root system that shares a common pulse. Over 1,000 years ago, during the golden age of the empire, this forest was a celestial retreat chosen by the aristocracy and royalty as a place to relax, compose poetry, and admire the moon. Thanks to its insane growth rate, the forest heals all harvesting wounds in just a few weeks, becoming an immortal material-producing machine for artisans to craft exquisite cups, baskets, and mats. Dead Valley in Namibia possesses the most surreal landscape on Earth, creating a perfect optical illusion that makes it nearly impossible for the human eye to distinguish reality from a painting. Here, camel thorn trees have been withered for 900 years, yet remain intact, having transformed into blackened wooden skeletons standing motionless in this arid cauldron. These trees twist with jagged, dry branches, reaching toward the sky like desperate hands begging for water, creating a haunting and stagnant dance. Surrounding the basin, massive red sand dunes, soaring nearly 400 meters high, enclose the space, turning the area into a small stage, crafted by the sheer power of nature. Thousands of years ago, this location was a vibrant oasis, fed by a major river until shifting dunes blocked the water source permanently. Standing since the year 1100 AD, this tree population serves as a wooden monument raised by nature to witness the rise and fall of human empires. Hidden deep within the pine forests of Poland, the Crooked Forest serves as a grand glitch in nature where hundreds of pine trees bend at a 90-degree angle near the base, forming giant J-shapes before stretching toward the sky. The most striking feature is that all these bent pines point their curves in one single direction toward the north, a perfection so precise it feels as if they are guided by an invisible magnetic field. These pines were planted around the 1930s, just before the outbreak of World War II, acting as a living black box that holds the secrets of a dark historical era. Thanks to this perfect curve, the U-shaped space beneath the base becomes a natural wooden armchair, allowing you to sit comfortably and feel the embrace of a living tree. Originally consisting of about 400 trees, the population is slowly dwindling due to time, disease, and age. Folklore whispers that strange magnetic forces or extraterrestrial activity bent these trees, draping the forest in a layer of enchanting mystery. The Great Blue Hole is the largest marine sinkhole on the planet, with a massive diameter of over 1,000 feet, creating a dark patch on the sea that astronauts can clearly see from the International Space Station. Viewed from above, this waterhole is a geometrically perfect circle, plunging nearly 400 feet deep, a scale large enough to swallow the world's massive skyscrapers. Amidst the vibrant turquoise shallow waters, a perfect circle of deep sapphire blue emerges, mesmerizing as the eye of a sea deity gazing up at the universe. A colorful coral reef fringes the opening, acting as a sturdy fortress wall that blocks heavy waves and keeps the interior water as still as a crystal mirror. In 1971, legendary oceanographer Jacques Cousteau officially honored this site as one of the greatest diving spots on the planet. Deep at 130 feet, the darkness is dominated by reef sharks and giant bull sharks that glide through the rock crevices with the majestic presence of guardian gods.